Medical marvels. Basic building blocks. Number 1. Our learning intention is that we will understand how systems in multicellular organisms work together to provide for all the needs of the cell. So let's have a think about the different organ systems that occur in our body. You're probably familiar with lots of these. The skeletal system. This is our bones, and they have lots of functions. They're going to support our body. They're going to protect some of the vital organs, like the skull, protecting the brain, and the rib cage protects your lungs. They're also a site of manufacture of really important cells in your blood, like the white blood cells and the red blood cells. They get made in bone marrow. The muscular system works really closely with the skeletal system, and we're going to be considering both of those together at the end of this term. The muscles attach to bones, and they help us to move. But there are also muscles not attached to bones. So we have smooth muscles that make up organs like the bladder, and we have cardiac muscle, which is really important, special kind of muscle that is the muscle that makes up our heart. This next organ system here is the digestive system. Thanks to the digestive system, when we eat, we can break down the food molecules that we eat. We can absorb them into our body, and then our body can use them to release the energy from those chemicals in the food so that we can do things that we need to do, like move, speak, conduct electricity in our nerves, grow. Anything that we do that needs energy, we get that from our food. Here we have the respiratory system. This is made up of the lungs, mostly, but also all the tubes that allow the air to actually reach our lungs, because our lungs are right in the middle of our chest. So we've got a windpipe called the trachea. We've got all of the nose and mouth system and all the branching vessels in our lungs that help us to get the air deep inside. And we're going to actually use that the lungs for two things. We're going to use it to get what we need into our body in the form of oxygen gas, but also to get rid of waste gas called carbon dioxide. Because if we didn't get rid of it, it would build up to toxic levels. This picture here with the green lines is showing the nervous system. We're not going to look at the nervous system in year 8, that's something we do in year 9. But it's important that you realise that without coordination and control from the nervous system, we wouldn't be able to run an efficient multicellular organism. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to work out how all these different systems could coordinate and work together. But the last system here, these blue and red lines, that's our circulatory system. This has been mentioned already because we talked about the heart and needing to be provided, being a type of muscle, and different parts of our body needing to be provided with oxygen. But without a circulatory system to get the food or the oxygen to every single cell in our body, we wouldn't be a very efficient multicellular organism. So we've got a few different systems here for you to look at and for you to start to become familiar with where they are in the body and what different organs are involved in making up those different organ systems. So what do humans actually need to stay alive? And there are 3 key things that we need to get into our body, and there are 2 key things that we need to get rid of, because if they were to build up, they would poison us. So let's have a look at the list. What we need are oxygen, nutrients, and water. And what we need to get rid of are wastes, so breakdown products from our metabolism, and carbon dioxide. Now, why do humans need these things? They need to release energy from the food that we eat so that we can do everyday things. So I've mentioned these already. We need to move, we need to stay warm, we need to grow, we need to think, we need to talk, and we need to fight diseases, for example. But we must also remove wastes from our body, otherwise we would poison our bodies and we would not be very efficient.